Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WWE news. So, Action Meow on Lucha Libre AAA. So, Apollo Crews, Lince Dorado will be wrestling in AAA against Apollo Crews, making his return to WWE in some form or fashion in AAA, though. So, not on the main roster. He was away, like getting his school done and all this. And they let him do that, and so he will be having an awesome match. It's cool that some of these like smaller flippy guys, like Apollo's a little bit older. What are you going to give him a run at the title in the main run? Maybe you could, but it's cool that they're giving them places to work in AAA, and this is a play. Like, that's the thing, dude. In Mexico, they want to see WWE superstars, and they want to see even ex-WWE guys. It was always badass when people leave WWE and go to Mexico or go to Japan or whatever. They want to see that, so it's awesome that Apollo Crews is going to be back. Speaking of back, we can't play this whole goddamn thing, but the aura he possesses is crazy. All hail Sucio Dom. So this rapper, I forget his name. I apologize greatly. I wished his name was here, but he dropped a song. Go and look it up. It's called Sucio Dom, and Dom's in it. So this just rules right here. Like, Dom's just super over, okay? That's all that needs to be said. He's in this cool-ass music video. Speaking of being super over, Larry, the dog, who's over with everybody. Everybody can come together and agree that Larry rules. And he announced that Larry, the dog, has passed away. And, yeah, deep condolences. Wrestle Purist wrote, deepest condolences. I agree with that sentiment. So CM Punk says the grief we carry is the price we pay for unconditional love. Our little Larry crossed the rainbow bridge, wrapped tightly in our arms. He was safe and happy, surrounded by love. We rescued Larry from Paw Chicago in 2015 and changed our lives. Could never in 1 million years find the words to properly express how much we loved him, nor how much joy he brought us. Nothing I write, no pictures I post would do him justice. He lived a long, amazing life. And our boy is at rest. And the house is quiet. You can still hear the jingle of his little necklace. Yeah, dude, when your pet passes away, or like if you've ever had to put a sick pet down who just like, you know, I had a little dog once, me and my wife did, that was just holding on, you know, and it was like, okay, it's time. Like, it's like selfish of us to make her. She's so old now. It's like getting bad. I'm not going to get into details, but it was, and then you just like, and then they're just not there. And you're like, you know, like you notice it. It's the saddest. It is, man. Best energies. Larry the dog will live in infamy, more over than 80% of the pro wrestling business in general as a whole. Here's where sad meets being over, I guess. This is where those two roads intersect. And Jey Uso, you know, he throws a bit of a tantrum here. And he's been doing that now that he's been super over as Yeet Man. You know, he's super Yeet. And LA Knight botches this running up the rope botch after we just watched on the show him botching a bunch. Yeah. We watched compilations on the same show of LA Knight and Jey Uso botching a bunch. They're facing each other in this match. The match was good besides this one botch, more or less, right? And so let's play this clip.
Injured here. The Mega Star Bots naming the Megaplex. The Megaplex indeed.
So they call that the Megaplex. You know, LA Knight slips. I think he went for the middle rope this time as well instead of the top, but then he slipped on it. And, you know, there's been rumors of LA Knight having heat on him for like a while now, whether that's true or not. I've heard enough of them to believe it to some degree that maybe someone, you know, it's always like, oh, it's his attire. He doesn't trust people. He botches. He botched this spot in the Rumble. There's always theories about
wrestling's not fake.
And so LA Knight here like botches this superplex or whatever. Jey Uso gets visibly mad. Like, watch this. He doesn't really sell it.
Remember the damage that Jey.
But he throws a tantrum, rolls over, goes on his back. And why? Is it because he doesn't want people like calling him Botch Machine? Does he have heat with LA Knight in some form or fashion? Was he mad that LA Knight was going over on him? Does he feel like he's not? I have no clue. Where's that little temper tantrum come from? I think someone pointed out another time he did this as well.
48 hours ago. Injured.
So again, LA Knight needs to stop doing this move. That's first and foremost. And if trust is an issue, start trusting people. Jey, get your shit together, bud. Like, why the fuck are you throwing tantrums like that? And I get it, though. You're in the heat of the moment. You don't want shit to look sloppy shop. Now, I'm willing to give Jey the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, maybe he's mad because the literal week before he's getting called fucking botch machine, him and LA Knight both in the IWC, and then they botch a spot. Maybe he's mad at like both of them, like as a team, like, fuck, man, we fucked this. I'm mad at myself. We fucked this up. But if he's throwing a tantrum because someone fucked up on him, it's like, Jey, you've botched a bunch, buddy. You're not the guy who can get mad at LA Knight. So it's interesting. Who knows? I'm not trying to spread rumors, but is there heat on people backstage in WWE? It's something to keep an eye on. And another instance of that we broke down earlier, Damian Priest went from being world heavyweight champion to wrestling on main event in the span of just 1 year. Now, WWE, I think their dark matches just go on main event because people, like, do they do any dark matches anymore? Or are they all just on main event? I have no clue. Now, there's rumors and innuendo out there, at least JJ saying that there's fucking, he, at least on our show, JJ said it. On my show here, JJ said it, that, or on the show we did together. It might have been his show. I can't remember where we had the conversation. It may have been multiple shows. Who fucking knows? I don't know. Lex, which was it? I don't know. Me neither. Okay. Did Lex work? Goddamn.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. The point I'm getting at, if there's heat when it comes to Priest and all the people he's been dating, and then Lola Vice, if there's real heat there, if those rumors are fucking true, which I don't know, all of a sudden he shows up on main event. It's like, damn, it's hard to argue. It's like, because that's how they traditionally punish you in wrestling. You go down the card. Cena just talked about this on his little dun, 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 dun moment on Raw, where they like the last time is now moment, and then they give that little excerpt of that interview he did, and they do like a motivational quote. He's like, yeah, I went on this Saturday show, Velocity, and where traditionally you'd look at that as a demotion, I looked at it as like, okay, let's get to work. That's what John Cena had to say. But so it's not like I'm making this up, right? You guys we can all agree in chat. No, sickos, wackos, TNA holes alike. We can all agree. Does that not seem kind of punishment Martinez, pun intended, right? Is that not punishment for him to end up on, maybe not punishment, like you're in trouble, but has he not floated down the ranks here pretty quickly? I think that's wild. This is some Karrion Kross shit. Look where Karrion Kross is at. That's all I'm saying. And Karrion Kross wasn't even world champ. Priest was world champ. So again, I don't want to start rumors. I don't want to speculate on fucking, I don't care who he's dating. He could date all the girls in the world. Good on him. You know what I mean? He was trying to beat those bisexual Undertaker accusations, I think. And shout out Kit Wilson. Right? Like he's getting time on main event. I don't know, for a Kit Wilson, to me, I'm like, okay, they see big things in Kit Wilson. They're getting him ready. I don't know though. They do less house shows, and then main event, is that a demotion? I don't know. It seems like it could possibly be. And same with being sent to Mexico, like traditionally getting sent anywhere from NXT or the main roster is like anywhere other than even to NXT, they say is a demotion. You got sent to AAA. So if we're to believe JJ, like, hey, he's like, hey, man, that's a demotion in wrestling, bro. I booked this shit. And it's like, all right, hard to, and then you see this guy on main event. I don't know, man. Again, I'm piecing a lot. I'm doing a lot of conspiracy theories here today at PWT, here tonight, rather. Speaking of conspiracies, NXT general manager Ava was sent a box with her name on it on Tuesday NXT, and Mr. Stone had already opened the box. This was inside. What is that? Speaking of fucking mysteries, what is that? I can't even tell what that is. Lex, what is that? I don't know! Me neither. Is that one of those like, what are they called? Is that like one of those cell phone holsters that like block scammers? Here's a more clear picture. Like, what is this? A strap-on? What is that? A gun holster? RoboCop is coming to... Like, what is it? Hey, what's in the box, bitch? What is it? I have no clue what that even is. It looks like a camera case or something. It looks like your fucking your father-in-law's cell phone holder that he has attached to his hip. That also, it looks like a modern fanny pack or something. No clue what this is, but a lot of mysteries and conspiracies afoot here in WWE and the PWT universe lately. Or at least tonight. Another conspiracy theory is that Freddie Prinze Jr.'s comments about ESPN being unhappy with WWE were shot down. And recently we covered how an ESPN exec said, yeah, we're super happy with WWE right now. But the problem is that, of course, the people controlling the narrative and the corporate guys are going to say that. Of course, they're going to say, yeah, we're happy with it. Of course, it's been gangbusters. They're not going to say that they're sad about it and fuck up the stocks and do all this other, you know what I mean? They're going to do that. They're still partnered with ESPN for a while. Now, Freddie Prinze Jr. was laughing about, he shit all over the ESPN app, for one, which is fine. I don't have to use it. He also was like, this is exactly verbatim how he said it, and he said it laughing. Like, he said it laughingly the way I laugh, like make myself chuckle. You know, he's making himself chuckle, and he's like, dude, my friend in AEW, or not in AEW, pardon me. My friend, he was talking about ESPN, and he said, my friend in ESPN, or at Disney, said that ESPN are unhappy with the deal. Like they're like heated. They want better make their money back is sort of what's going around. But anyways, he just said it like quickly and was laughing about it. And he said, my friend at Disney was fucking, no one posted a clip. They just grabbed his fucking quote. But he was like laughing about it as he said it, kind of. But I'm not saying he was joking or wasn't serious. He did seem serious. He's like, my buddy at Disney said that, you know, they're heated about the ESPN deal and they better make their money back on that thing. And they're like worried they might not, which some people even predicted would be the case, right? According to Sean Ross Sapp in Fightful, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s comments about ESPN being unhappy with WWE, a WWE higher-up said no one in WWE upper management is aware of Freddie Prinze's role in wrestling or otherwise. Now, Sean Sapp and Fightful are claiming that they talked to a WWE higher-up. So that's a bold claim. So whoever this higher up is in the company. And if they did, they pull this quote. No, I don't think they're lying about this. I think Fightful's, this is a real quote because it seems so petty. No one in WWE upper management is aware of Freddie Prinze's role in wrestling or otherwise. Now, come on. You for surely, first off, he wrote for WWE.
Come on now, Eric.
Secondly, he's talked about buying and starting a Fed. Like, yeah, they're buying a Fed or starting his own Fed, Fred's Feds. And thirdly, he does do this podcast. Now, this podcast, I don't know if it does gangbusters, but Wrestling with Freddie is one of the more, if you're just like an even-keeled one, just like an even-keeled, relaxed. I like listening to it, honestly. It's not that bad. I told you guys I skipped the episodes that's just producer Alex, even though he gives great picks. He's good at predicting the matches. And then when it's just Jeff Dye, like I might listen to some of it, then switch it. I'm not a big Jeff Dye guy. Just being honest. And he dated Becky Lynch at one point. And then Freddie Prinze, though, I mean, I like him in fucking all of his movies, except for the newest I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's like if you asked Grok to write a script for I Know What You Did Last Summer, that's what it would turn out. And it's like if you asked AI to film it for you, too. Like just the shots, the color, everything was just, it looked like it was trying to be an Instagram reel the whole time. I digress. An ESPN rep claimed that they haven't heard that chatter and have enjoyed working with WWE. But here's the thing, though. Like if Freddie, let's say he's really talking to someone, they're going to tell him what the water cooler talk is. They're not going to tell him like the public statement. We can't just take billionaire and shady deal guy and, hey, we're all doing deals and wheeling and dealing and running and gunning in Hollywood in the entertainment business. You're going to take all those fuckers, what they have to say at face value. I don't. You know what I mean? You're going to believe that these business dudes aren't just going to say and do what's best for business. That's like, it's crazy. But people are saying Freddie's just sour grapes. ESPN's president, Burke Magnus, says WWE ESPN partnership has gone great so far. So I'll take it from the horse's mouth. That's always what I do. I just say, listen, I'm willing to bet Freddie Prinze knows people at Disney. 100,000,000%. I'm willing to bet someone told him that. I'm willing to bet that Disney and ESPN and everything is so compartmentalized in certain areas that it's a game of telephone. Like the guy at Disney Maybe he doesn't really know what's going on at the ESPN sports WrestlePalooza sphere right now. I'm willing to believe that billionaires and millionaires and guys who are protecting their investments are going to go on TV and say, everything's great here. Everything's amazing. Or they're going to give interviews and say, shit's amazing. And it could be different behind closed doors. Look at Tony Khan. Everything's great. And then behind closed doors, it's like, obviously not. There's all this turmoil backstage. There's people, whatever. We've chronicled it all here. We don't need to talk about it more, but you guys get what I'm getting at. So both things can be true in this instance, right? At the same time, Freddie Prinze, he really puts over everything. Like when people say he's bitter and shit, I don't know. He puts over everything in AEW, everything in WWE. He pretty much puts over everything. He shits on some things and he doesn't shit on them that hard. He's so even-keeled that, like, I don't think it's that. I think he's just legitimately saying what he heard his friends say. And then the people in WWE and ESPN, I believe WWE would be petty with their response. And I believe ESPN would be like, yeah, no, everything's awesome. Like, you know, it's not doom and gloom just because what Freddie said is true. Okay, wackos, it's not the end of WWE, even if ESPN aren't happy. The Netflix numbers, I don't think blew up the way people thought either. Why didn't Netflix grab their PLEs? Maybe international, it's doing what they need. I told you guys, wrestling fans in Canada, of course it's going to top 10 every fucking, we're watching, you know, we're all sickos there, buddy. We're all Stampede folk there, bud. Maybe in the US, they're like, nah, dude, there's not enough US viewers to fucking make us want the PLEs exclusively in the US or whatever. And does that mean ESPN fucked up? No. You know, so it's all good. A lot of people ran with this and went crazy with this. I think we have his actual quote. Yeah. So he says, ESPN, by the way, is so unhappy with the deal. I was talking to, he's literally like chuckling, giggling like a school kid while he's saying this. I was talking to a friend of mine who works for Disney and he was just like, yo, they better make their money back on this deal. He just said they're hot. And then he just kept it moving. Like he did not dwell on it. He just said that, kept it moving. So I don't think anyone's like, I think it shows that WWE's more bitter with their response, if anything. Oh, this guy, we have no idea of his involvement and shit. It's like, all right, guys, chill. John Cena Sr. does not like the fact that Gunther could possibly be his son's final match of all time. He doesn't need the rub. All Access podcast. So maybe he's right about, here's the thing. I don't like the finalists either. I don't like the 4 guys that it could be. It's either got to be, I wanted it to be like Trick or even Joe Hendry. I was like, he's kind of old, dude. I wanted it to be Mello. My buddy JJ really convinced me like Mello's the fucking truth. Like it's been written in the stone that it was supposed to go down this way. But John Cena Sr. is naming names like Edge and shit. I think people wanted to see him like do that, wrestle just like a farewell tour. I get it though. You got to give it to somebody like younger. But I was even pulling for The Miz more than anyone else. If it's not going to be him giving it to someone younger, it's got to be him wrestling like someone that he's had a bunch of matches with. John Cena Sr. lists some names here. I agree with most of them that I'd prefer. Even Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, that would have been crazy because there was a time where Zack Ryder, there was conspiracy theories that John Cena was burying Zack Ryder and people were, you know, the whole wheelchair being pushed off the stage thing and everything like that. And Triple H and everyone had it out for him and all this stuff because he was getting over on his own, which is a no-no to a lot of the egotists in wrestling, right? So even Zack Ryder, I would have popped hard for that. Like Zack Ryder versus fucking Cena. You know, if it's not going to be the future, it should be like the greatest hits. Another one, not, you don't go out and copy the match he did with AJ, but just one of his great rivals, one of his great opponents. They chose not to do that. It's going to be Gunther or somebody who, you know, in the next, like I said, 3 to 5 years is going to be like in the world title picture. It's got to be Gunther. If they swerve everyone and go with LA Knight, damn. I mean, shocking to me. And that could happen. That's the beauty of WWE right now. You never know. I would be okay with either. I mean, it is what it is, man. I think Gunther, if it's either Gunther or LA Knight winning, I don't really care, but I want Gunther more than LA Knight. That's me personally. Everybody has their preference. I think that Gunther getting a win over Cena for the title, not for the title, is the way to go as well, because the dirt sheets were saying it was going to be for a title. Gunther can just get a win over Cena, end his career, they can shake hands. Gunther's full-blown babyface, even though he was like cheating and shit against Solo, but the crowd popped for it, man. They're loving Gunther. So maybe Gunther, he doesn't have to cheat to win. That's the other thing too. It makes it weird because if he cheats, like, does he cheat to try and beat Cena? Then it's like more in the heel category. I don't know. I kind of don't like that he kicks Solo in the balls and all that. Either way, Cena versus Gunther, I think that's the way to go. But John Cena Sr. gives his fucking picks, and I agree with all of these over even Gunther. I got to be honest.
Different opponents.
It's not going to be like Trick or Oba or some shit.
And if you had to choose one, who would it be for that last opponent at Saturday night's main event?
Well, it certainly would be Gunther, that's for sure.
And I agree, dude. I don't think Gunther needs the Cena win. And if he takes the Cena L, that's like, Gunther can't lose to Cena. But maybe that's why they're booking that, and then they have Cena go over, and then it's like, oh shit. But then what does that do for Gunther? Like, we got to look at the future, and Gunther and LA are getting up in age and shit. Everyone's getting up in age.
I think that's a wise move. I don't think the fans would enjoy that move. Myself personally, Gunther does not need the rub. And by the way, I'm not a fan of on the way out, you've got to push somebody over the top. You're supposed to pass, quote unquote, the torch. I don't know whether that's written anywhere in professional wrestling. If we have to use that as an analogy, then he's already done that with Cody Rhodes.
Different opponents.
True that. And I thought I had a list of the names. I thought he listed it in that clip. He says JBL, who else did he say? Edge. He said someone else who was in AEW. I think Chris Jericho or some shit, whatever. He just named a bunch of people Cena's wrestled, and that's who it should be. I agree. But if you're just looking at like who's on our roster, who's going to be with us the next like 3 to 5 years, Gunther's going to be in the main event against all these guys. I can see what they're doing. Speaking of championships, though, WWE has filed to trademark Clash of Champions again. So good for them. And I'm all about the Night of Champions and the class. Well, here's the thing. I don't want to see like the IC and the US champs fight and the fucking tag champs fight. I don't want to see all that like at Crown Jewel or whatever. Or what's the King of the Ring? What's the pay-per-view where they all fight for the Super Showdown, for the Super Belt or whatever? It doesn't matter. But Clash of Champions, Night of Champions, I always liked a show where it's like, okay, every title gets defended no matter what. That's an easy gimmick to do for like a show once a year. And like Tony Khan couldn't even make that shit work with Battle of the Belts. Clash of Champions, inferior to Night of Champions, in my opinion. Is what it is. Speaking of, spending money on Thanksgiving, let's talk ratings and attendances here for a second. So Thanksgiving week failed to crack the global top 10, so there's no viewership data available. It did rank number 9 in the US. The competition was insanely tough, led by Stranger Things season 5. Okay, the 10 show had 4 million views, which is a number Raw hasn't cracked since the premiere. Yeah, Thanksgiving, Raw was down. Okay, we have attendances here, tickets distributed, but what isn't down, Saturday night main event, goddamn 16,483 tickets sold, and they're set up for 17,263. This is as of like 3 days ago, if you factor in, like this was yesterday, but these updates are about 2 days difference there. So we'll say that they're going to sell this thing out. I'm sure the last little chunk of tickets sell. And we don't know any other matches other than like Cena's going to fight Gunther. And then what else? Like NXT guys? But didn't they say that Breaker's going to take on Punk? Or is that the wrong date? They were talking about some day, December 3rd, January 5th. I don't fucking remember. But if that's on Saturday night main event, then yeah, they were talking about an NXT, like a young star showcase. Where does that go down, I wonder? Speaking of Punk, he has joined the cast of the Netflix rom-com based on the Catherine Center novel, The Bodyguard. So isn't there already a rom-com called The Bodyguard? So is this just like the Netflix version of that? That's cool. He's getting tons of roles. Good for Punk. He's crushing it. He was just one of the Zebros. That Zootopia 2 movie, like, broke records, beat fucking Wicked 2, Wicked for Good in just its opening weekend or whatever, globally. So apparently that's like a smash hit. Speaking of smash hit, goddamn, we've had like 400 motherfuckers watching all night, man. You guys rule. Moving along here. Andrew Schultz, speaking of Netflix and cringe and cringy comedians and shit, we were talking about her, and Too Lazy to Try, and Akash Singh, right? Andrew Schultz has made a strong impression with many people in WWE. Expect to see more of Schultz featured in WWE programming moving forward. I don't know about all this, but he's obviously buddied up to like Rhodes and Reigns and shit when they were on the Street Fighter set. I don't know if he overlapped with any of them. It's also like Netflix is high on him and these guys and giving them like, it's these guys we tell, like you watch the roast of 2024, Jeff Ross roast of 2024. It's like Adam Ray and Tim Dillon and these guys, people in the Rogan sphere, right? Like they're on these shows, and not all the comedians that get specials on Netflix are in the Rogan sphere, quote unquote. But like Schultz is one of them, and he's one of these guys who's like, man, we're canceled and blah, blah, blah. Then Netflix swooped in, and then he's like just on Netflix now. And I think he might be on that Tires show with Shane Gillis. Maybe he's not. I haven't seen it, but either way, apparently Schultz has made a strong impression backstage. Whether this is true or not, I don't know, but it's more of that like Netflix integration with WWE, the synergy and the fucking certain people. That's why he's in certain movie roles that also wrestlers are in and shit like that. You guys know what I'm saying? So I guess shout out Schultz. I think he's an absolute cringe lord. I just gotta be honest. No hate on him personally, just cringe. So Road to Royal Rumble in Saudi. They're in Leipzig, Germany. So they're in Germany, Scotland, Denmark, Germany, England, Poland, England, Northern Ireland, Belgium, and that's Raw for house shows and SmackDowns, 2 SmackDowns, 2 Raws, myriad house shows, and they are all over Europe there, and then they head out to Saudi Arabia for the Rumble. That's going to be weird, chat, but I'm looking forward to it, you know? I'm looking forward to watching it together, you know what I mean? Let's move along here. Bayley on some wrestlers that leave the show early. So Bayley buries some wrestlers here, and this is from 6 Feet Under with Michelle McCool, and Undertaker is there, I guess. A shell of the Undertaker is there, I guess, as his fucking podcast got overtaken. But yeah, she basically shoots on wrestlers who leave shows early.
Yeah, that just blows my mind. Like when people, and I can't even imagine what it was like, you know. But when I first got on the road, it was all the live events. Is like, okay, you always watch. Like Cena watched everything, you know. Roman watched everything, and now, you know, these last few years, Seth is always at that front monitor. So if you're at the live events, you come back through the curtain, there's that monitor right there, and then you have talent viewing. I always liked watching at that front monitor because you can hear the crowd better.
Right.
And I also get to
see, this is why Bayley's one of the goats right here. And yeah, shout out 6 Feet Under and Fanatic.
You know, when people come back, they ask Seth, like, oh, what'd you think? And then I could hear what he's saying to them. So like, okay, I'm learning too.
Wow.
And lately there's some people who just leave, and it's like, then Seth comes back from the main event and nobody's there.
Yes.
Like that is like, what? You just asked for his advice and now nobody's here? That drives me crazy. Or if some people aren't.
Yeah, and in AEW, Punk accused them of doing the same shit. That's more the culture. I don't know if it's like that in TNA, but TNA seems to have like a super strong locker room going into this new like AMC era as well. So I'm really excited for them to get covered like more and more. And maybe we'll hear some drummers going on there, right? But it is disappointing to hear that. People should be locked in. I mean, I don't know. It's picture it like you're on the Lakers and you're like, oh, I'm not even going to watch the fucking game. I'm just not going to show up. I'm not even going to sit on the bench. I'm just nothing, you know? You're injured and it's like, peace out. I'm just gone. You know, like you're right there, man. You got to watch your team. You got to know the ins and outs of the TV show as a whole. That would be, I don't know. That's maybe some people are just like, nah, fuck it. It's a check. And I just come and get physical and go. Yeah,
on the show, you know, they just take off and I just can't. I don't know.
It's hard
I've
to
had
fathom.
This, yeah. I have this conversation with some people and I just don't get it, but it's different. And I don't know what's missing or if there's something like, for me, it's like what you're saying, you tell Kaya, is like, I'm trying to lead by example. So like, I would hope that some of the girls see that I'm still here or I'm not I'm not booked, but I'm in Gorilla, or I'm not booked, but I'm watching the girls' matches no matter what. And that would be like, oh, maybe I should stay too. Some may think like that, some may not, but
I mean, look, I've never.
Yeah, there's nothing that forces you to stay. And
that just blows my mind.
But she's making a great point. Like, how are you going to ask Seth for advice, and then his match goes on, and then you don't even fucking watch it? It's like all for show, you know? It's like everything's fake or something. Like, you don't really care about his advice. You're just doing it because you're seeing him sitting in Gorilla, and then he goes out there to wrestle, and you don't watch him apply the shit he might have told you. Damn, Trips, get your fucking locker room in order, bud. You got Uso throwing tantrums. You got ESPN's hot. You got fucking no. We just turned anti-WWE. No, honestly though, overall, WWE has been putting on some fucking shows where you're like, this is why I'm a WWE fan. Like some of the John Cena shit, people boo-boo all over it. I fucking loved when he won the IC title. Like that was so incredible to me. Like, that's just a moment I'll never forget. I popped so hard for that shit. So WWE's cooking right now. But yeah, we're going to keep them honest here at TWP, okay? That's for sure.